When the Oppo Find X8 Ultra arrived, Oppo made some bold claims and promises that they will add 4K video log recording as well as a pro video mode. And now, on the last day of May, they actually delivered with this version 15.01.502 this feature. And you can see in the changelog already that we have tons of camera features and improvements. So I will check out this brand new version and show you the pro video mode that has been added. So let's get started. So in order to get to the Pro Video mode, you just swipe to More and then you can see already the Pro Video icon there. Just press on it and here we have the Pro Video feature. Let's go maybe to Landscape and get a bit closer. So you can see we have all the settings that we have in Master Mode as well for setting up the ISO. We can set up here from automatic to something else. Shutter speed, EV control, exposure compensation, AF, which is the autofocus, we can set it to auto or we can set it manually, and you can see you have numbers here. So these numbers help you to always set the same kind of autofocus point or focus point. And we have white balance that we can set up here. You can see we have two sliders. One is like the Kelvin slider here, and the other one is the tonality slider that we can also set up here the way we like it to be. And we can of course reset everything to automatic if we want to, but this is very cool. Then when it comes to the frame rates, also very interesting. You can see that they have 24 frames per second, 30, 60 and 120 frames per second. I really would like to have also 25 and 50. So Oppo, if you're listening, us Europeans also want to have 25 and 50 frames per second. Maybe you can add this as well. And for 1080p, nothing changed here. So you can see only 4K and 1080p are available here with the various different frame rates. Then we have HDR that we can enable here, HDR Dolby Vision that is actually, and the frame rates are the same as you can see here. I can go to 120 frames per second and it's still in 4K HDR, so this is working fine. Then besides this we have also stabilization, anti-shake that we can turn on or off. So let's go and see, like for example the main camera, look at the width of the picture and let me turn it on and off. You can see it's getting a bit wider there. Look at the tablecloth here at the side. See, almost the whole leg is gone and here it is in. So yes, we have the possibility when the phone is on a tripod, for example, to disable this stabilization to get a little bit more wider field of view. There's still OIS active there, but EIS is then turned off. We have some other options there as well. We have different aspect ratios, 16:9, but we can also have this more cinematic aspect ratio there. And when we go in here, you can see we have also the possibility to record in various different resolutions then, even with this weird aspect ratio. I leave it to 16:9. We can turn on a histogram, focus peaking, and log recording. And if you go in here, you can see we have now log enabled, and we have a histogram enabled as well. And when it comes to resolutions and frame rates, you can see that 4K 60 is possible, but at I think 120 frames per second, it is turning off log. Let's go back to 60 frames per second and turn on log. And it should be, it's going up to 4K 60 frames per second and has log turned on. So I think 4K 120 frames per second in log will be turned on at a later point. There's a possibility to disable all the controls if you want to, or enable them again. So very nice. You can see it's like working on all the lenses, very smooth here, without any issues. And I think we should maybe take a look at one of those recordings that I will do now at 4K 60 frames per second in, let's go to 4K 30 because I have a 30 timeline here. In log maybe with stabilization turned on. So this is now a recording that I'm doing with the Oppo Find X8 Ultra with its brand new update 15.01.502 using the log recording 4K 30 frames per second on the main camera sensor. I am color grading it at one point and maybe there's some inbuilt color grading options as well there. I don't think there are, but maybe we can have a little bit of play around with those. Anyway, this is the recording here. During recording I have also the ability to switch between all lenses, and if I want to I can go to manual focus. I can change the exposure, I can change the ISO, white balance and so on during recording, which is quite cool. And we can also try to zoom in on something like this light bulb there. Actually it's not a light bulb, let's go to 2x, there you can see it, 3x and 6x. There you can see it, and this will turn on at night with a small LED that is like illuminating here this terrace. So yes, if I want to I can have the exposure compensation and make it a little bit darker here or brighter, and the same way I can also deal with the ISO or autofocus. Let's go to 3x for example, where it's not really focusing. Let's go to manual focus and I can manually dial in the correct focus eventually there at one point. There we go, this should be the correct focus. So this is possibility as well, or I can go to autofocus again, which is very nice. So I have all the possibilities here, see the histogram also while I'm recording, and have the ability even to change the white balance during recording, so the tonality can be changed to a bit cooler or a bit. It makes more sense, of course, probably for non-log recording, but yeah, this is the possibilities that I have here with the mode. I can go to ultra wide angle here, show a little bit about the ultra wide angle here. Stabilization should work fine here, and we want to also see when I turn off stabilization how it will look like at 24 millimeter. 23 millimeter I think they're using here, and also at the ultra wide angle. So let's check it out, but I will switch probably to normal video mode now. So instead of log recording, I will turn off log, and we turn off the stabilization, and then I'll go to 1x and let's see how it will look like, and when I go to the ultra wide angle how much more I can get in there. So this is me now with the stabilization turned off, so I'm moving a little bit slower, but just to see how well the stabilization, or without this extra stabilization, how wide the shot is. And even if you want to get like a bit of more in the shot, let's go to the ultra wide angle to see how well this is now really ultra wide, because we don't have the stabilization turned on. The ultra wide angle don't necessarily need a extra stabilization, because I think even without it, it should provide like still a kind of stable shot. It doesn't have OIS, but because it is so wide, it shouldn't be like too wobbly there. But what do you think? Write it down in the comment section. And yeah, this is everything that I discovered so far in the camera application. And what do you think about this one here? And all this leads to an improvement in the ranking as well. Like I promised, when they will add this, I will reevaluate everything here. And this is what I'm doing here. As you see here, the Oppo Find X8 Ultra gets now 4.673 points. Where do we have the improvements in camera UI and extra features? So I lifted up the camera UI because they fixed some issues that I had with the camera UI. For example, if you set the timer, it had in the past always this nice button that was showing like how many seconds, but this was gone for some reason in a few modes here. But now it is back there, so they fixed this. The swipe gestures to at least get for your second hand all the options visible again is now also there again, as well as some other nice little tricks or nice little things that they fixed there in the camera UI. So I'm raising this to 0.1 points, and also the extra features is 4.5 points now. Like I said, if they would add like the different frame rates like 25 frames per second and 50 frames per second, and maybe even allow us to disable the noise reduction in video recording, just like Vivo does, then I would also give it the same raise and the same points as the X200 Ultra 4.6. But at this point it is like on equal relatively with the X100 Ultra, which is cool. And yeah, this allows no change in the ranking still, because we still have the X200 Ultra being on top with 4.765 points. But 4.673 points is also pretty impressive for the Find X8 Ultra. And as you can see here, in certain aspects like video recording quality, I would even say the Find X8 Ultra is surpassing the X200 Ultra there. Still, because in parts of stabilization, but also the out-of-the-box experience with better colors is still very important. So if it's important for you, then this is what you get. I'm testing out the other claims, like the claim they have better improved 35 and 70 millimeter on the Find X8 Ultra, support for portraits especially. Maybe the ultra wide angle can also be raised there. That would be quite nice, but so far I did not see that, and I'm only covering now the new Pro Video mode specifically. So this is why it's still number 2 here. It's still very good, top of the line. If you got a Vivo or an Oppo phone, be glad. It's just like both are very, very fine and good phones, and sometimes it's just a matter of taste, which kind of phone you want to use and what kind of results you can expect. And even the Xiaomi is like amongst the best there. As you can see here, it's a little bit behind the Vivo and the Oppo, but it's still very, very good. And yeah, Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo are dominating this list here right now. And sometimes there's a bit of Huawei and Honor also in there, but Honor is more down there, as you can see here. And not so much up here where the rest is playing. So I'm looking forward to new releases that I can add maybe to this list here. So if you have some suggestions and want to support my channel, you can also donate. This helps me as well a lot, actually, to get the testing devices for review and to rank them here in my ranking as well. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next time, bye.